Hi, it's Carrie. Welcome to episode 18 of Brand Storytelling Prompts. And today we're going to be talking about the advancement story. This is an interesting one. So, grab your favorite writing utensil and let's get started. Share a story that explains how your brand is working hard to advance those working in your industry. Are you sharing new perspectives, offering interesting solutions to traditional methods, or challenging the norms? When you're working hard at your brand to evolve the industry, what is your mood oftentimes? Now, you could get really in depth here if you are working to kind of like push the envelope, right? Um, Maybe you're carving out a certain niche that no one has done before within your industry, or you found a different way to do something, and not everyone has caught on to it yet. And you might be facing like an uphill battle, right? Think of ways that you're trying to gather everyone that's around you or even, under you and scoop them up, carry them underneath your wing and advancing them further. Like, hey guys, there is a better way to do this. We don't need to do this, that, or the other thing. This is the way. And you cut your path, right? Or maybe you have a different perspective on things, like you're questioning the norms or um, challenging the way that we traditionally do things. For example, just in the light of what's happening in the current world market today, um, there was a story about one of Apple's chief executive tech people. I can't remember the position exactly, but I guess they left their position because they felt that they could best serve the company by working from home. Like being in the office was not necessary to do their job. And they had, done it just fine for like the last 2 years working from home, right? But now all these companies are like calling back people back to the office, get your butt in the chair. Um, you might be one of those people who is like like the rebel, you know, who's saying like, why do we need to do this? Like, take a stand. Like, this, the way that we've always done it, or the way that we've come to do things, doesn't necessarily need to be that way. I remember when my brand was taking on something new. I was the first one as a Canva template designer to offer bundles. And I was just like, why do people need to buy Instagram posts over here and an ebook over here and YouTube thumbnails over here? Like, why can't we just like bundle everything together? So I started doing that and I offered better pricing. And as a result, there were so many people who were like, oh my God, thank you for, changing this up. I love your value packages because I save so much money instead of, having to buy a la carte everything. Um, and once I kind of like trailblazed that a little bit, other creators started, doing the same thing, of course. But I kind of like challenged the market. Like, why do we need to just do everything individually? Why can't we just like group it all together, bundle it, sell it that way? Or even in design, um, why don't we start offering the copy that goes into the design as a prompt instead of just like your title here or your text here or your fancy title? Why don't we include, relevant prompts within those designs to help steer the direction of what that space was intended for? So you might have within your own niche certain things that you have challenged, that you can think about and draw upon, and you can share that story. You can also draw on some of the emotions, like, I got a lot of flack for this because of X, Y, and Z. Or I was fearful of how the market would respond to this, but I stuck to my guns and I did it anyway. So you can talk about some of the emotions that you might have experienced in making some of these decisions. When you're working hard at your brand to evolve the industry, what is your mood oftentimes? This is sometimes where a lot of creators can get frustrated because how they think or how we've evolved may not necessarily be mainstream or accepted by larger brands or larger industries than ourselves. For example, in publishing, um, there's been a lot of discussion about how Amazon treats its authors and how it's been kind of like price fixing ebooks for, the last decade or so, if not more. And a lot of authors are struggling with people returning books on Amazon, myself included. And we're not a library. So there's been kind of a movement within the author market and in some of my peers of taking our ebooks off of Amazon and selling them on our own website, even though that's not the mainstream way to do it, but only offer like paperback and hardcover on Amazon. And of course, there's, certain ramifications that happen with that, including, the ability to make income when you're an author. But in order to evolve the industry and to discourage being treated like a library, and having customers being able to return digital downloads, which is just doesn't make any sense to me. You have to kind of go up against this giant that is Amazon. You have to evolve. You have to start finding other ways to offer your ebook, maybe directly to your audience, in a platform where, listen, I don't accept returns on digital goods. This is it. So sometimes you have to evolve, and sometimes you have to challenge the industry, and you have to find a way to maneuver and carve out your path, in order to make things work for you and to discourage, certain behaviors, for example. So you can face like a lot of sadness, a lot of frustration, or even disgust. Um, and I think that typically revolves around any time that you're trying to make big change. There's going to be challenges and mountains that you're going to have to climb, rivers that you're going to have to maneuver, and you're going to have to get a little dirty in order to survive. But you come out ahead. So you can talk about that journey that you're on. I have some links in the description that will help you formulate the story. And you can check those out. Some are free, some are paid. And if you like the video, or if you found this discussion helpful, give me a like and subscribe if you would. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. And then, as always, thank you very much for being here and for watching the videos. I feel like this is a really great way for you and I to connect, and for me to relay some of my thoughts, as unscripted as they are. But it's like having a conversation with you about some of my perspectives on how to approach certain stories and how to share your worldview perspective with your own audience. So I hope you found it helpful. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you soon.